AFC home game starts and sits right now on Fantasy Football Today Express. Welcome, everybody. All right, this is going to be a little bit different of a show. We'll go through the 8 AFC home games, and we'll just tell you if there are any must-starts, and then after that, we'll answer some 2025 questions. Cleveland at Baltimore, are there must-starts in this game?
The Ravens start Lamar, start Henry, start Andrews, and I'm starting Zay Flowers too. He's a number 2 wide receiver, and Jerry Jeudy is very, very close to a must-start in a 3 wide receiver league.
All right, how about the Steelers hosting the Bengals? Who are the must-starts in that game?
The Bengals start Joe Burrow, start Jamar Chase, start T. Higgins. I don't want to start Gesicki. Khalil Herbert's a number 2 running back. Jalen Warren over Najee, but I wouldn't call him must-start. Pickens is a wide receiver too. Russ is borderline.
Yeah, Warren's interesting. Is in this week where they're playing on Saturday and they may not have much to play for. I don't know how much they're going to care about their seeding when Baltimore.
They care about the 5 seed. Everybody cares about the 5 seed. It's a huge advantage.
They should. Yeah, it is a big advantage. Although if you ask the Steelers, they're always confident about beating Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, they're fans anyway. All right. Next game. I'm going to go over to Sunday. Buffalo's at New England.
Nope.
Not a single must start. Who's the best start in this game?
I cannot think of one that I would even say. Like, I guess Hunter Henry is my favorite start.
Not Ray Davis.
I'm not as sure. Jamie seems to be more sure about Ray Davis being the lead back. I think there's some risk of Ty Johnson and Ray Davis splitting, and there's some risk that Frank Gore Jr. gets pushed up, and wouldn't it be a good story if Frank Gore scores a touchdown? It's one of the teams. I guess it's not quite it'd be awesome if it was against the Jets and it was like a Frank Gore revenge game against a team that his dad played for.
Yeah, exactly. One of the teams that his dad did not play for. All right. How about Houston at Tennessee?
Again, I am not sure there is a must start as of right now. If Tony Pollard is active, then he would be a must start. Calvin Ridley's a number 3 wide receiver. Chigo Okonkwo is a fine tight end. I don't want to trust any of the Texans. Their words are not matching up with what the betting lines are doing. So I'm expecting like a quarter of play.
So you'd start Calvin Ridley over Nico Collins?
I would.
The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going to start Brian Thomas Jr. And I'm going to start Jonathan Taylor. I would view Pittman and Downs as number 3 wide receivers if Flacco plays. And ETN and Tank are flexes.
Are there any must starts in Kansas City at Denver?
The Broncos. You're starting Bo Nix. You're starting Cortland Sutton.
Yeah. Is there one Chief that you would lean toward?
Not like I want to say Noah Gray, but I'm not like he might even be too valuable to play a whole lot. So I guess Carson Steele is the best option.
Yeah. Okay. Chargers at Raiders. Any must starts here?
So this depends. If the Bengals win, then Herbert, Dobbins, Ladd are all must starts. If the Steelers win, then those guys all become questionable. But I still think because of their head coach that it's more likely that the Chargers guys just play most of the game. I'll start Amir Abdullah if he's okay. And he's a must start if he gets in a full practice. Brock Bowers is a must start, and Jacoby Myers is a good number 2.
Yeah, and if you missed it on the other show, if you're only listening to this one, the Chargers enter this week with a possibility of either being the 5th seed, which is a team that would go to Houston in the wild card round, or the 6th seed, which is a team that will most likely go to Baltimore because we expect Baltimore to get the 3 seed and beat Cleveland.
So go ahead.
Oh yeah, if the Steelers win on Saturday, then the Steelers are going to be the 5 seed. This is all assuming Baltimore wins, which is one of the safest assumptions of the week. If the Steelers win, the Steelers are the 5 seed and the Chargers are locked into the 6 seed. If the Steelers lose, then the Chargers can play for the 5 seed by winning at Las Vegas.
I don't think the Chargers are locked into the 6 seed. Because I think if the Chargers lose and the Broncos win, the Chargers are the 7 seed.
I read that they were locked into the 6 seed.
Well, maybe they would be, but they currently are both 9 and 6. So I'm pretty sure if the Broncos win and the Chargers lose, that the Broncos would be ahead of the Chargers.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, what I said then.
So I think they could be the 5, the 6, or
The Chargers are 10-6, and the Broncos are 9-7.
Oh, okay. Well, then this slide I'm looking at that Adam often uses. No, it's not the same one, but it shows the records both at 9-6.
No one's 9-6. Those are old.
They're all. If they look at it now, they're all 15 games. So I don't know. They should update.
One more game. Dolphins at the Jets. Any must starts here?
I don't really like. Achane is my favorite running back, and I'm starting him. I don't feel good about it. I'm probably starting Brees as a number 2. I'm starting Devontae Adams. I'm probably starting Garrett Wilson and Tyreek as number 2s. Jonnu's a low-end starter. So there's a lot of starts. I hesitate to call them must starts.
All right, we're going to take a break and answer some 2025 questions when we come back on Fantasy Football Today Express. Welcome back. Okay, I'm going to give you the top three players at each position. You're going to rank them for next year. 6-point per passing touchdown leagues. It is Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. And to be honest with you, I think fantasy points are a pretty good way to evaluate a player's season. And Lamar Jackson has scored almost 60 more fantasy points than Josh Allen. But how do you rank Jackson, Burrow, Allen for next season?
I will go, well, I mean, this will be dependent on what they do at wide receiver for Allen. But right now, I think you'd have to go Jackson, Allen, Burrow.
Okay, at running back, it is Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry. I'm going to throw Bijan in there too. He's number 4. How would you rank the top 4 next year? Barkley, Gibbs, Henry, Bijan. And I know they're not going to be your top 4 necessarily, but how would you rank them?
Bijan, Barkley, Gibbs, Henry.
Any thoughts of putting Gibbs ahead of Barkley?
Yeah. I think because I kind of did a little bit of 2025 guesstimate on projections for the purposes of updating my dynasty rankings. And I had Bijan, Gibbs, and Barkley, all 3 projected at 19 fantasy points per game. I actually had Kyron at the same projection. So I think any of those guys could be number 1.
All right, your top wide receivers are Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And that's I would keep them in that same order.
Okay, who else are we going to throw in there? Who's wide receiver 3 for you?
I will, and then we're going to release that. I think I'm supposed to send those into Jamie today, right?
Oh gosh, I have to work on that.
I actually did have Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 3 with Neighbors, Puka, and CD Lamb all just a half a point behind him.
Yeah, Lamb is. I feel like might end up being a little underrated, but he's actually wide receiver 4 right now overall, not per game, but pretty close. And the tight ends, we got Bowers, Kittle, McBride. And are they going to be your top 3 tight ends next year? And in what order?
Yeah, Bowers and McBride are, again, basically tied. And then Kittle right behind them.
All right, you're on the clock. Both tight ends are available. Bowers or McBride, who are you going with?
Who's the quarterback for the Raiders?
Daniel Jones.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Trey McBride.
I knew it. Okay, we're out of here, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today Express.